Real good football question here. People been bringing some good sports asking me, what would have happened if Joe Montana and Dan Marino had a traded places? What may have it been? Woo, this one is fire. And does it make Marino rise higher? Well, for some, Marino's already considered one of the 10 greatest quarterbacks ever. Win no ring or win no ring, which just goes to show that if you leave a kind of impact, you don't even have to win a ring. Because he carries a lot of weight. Marino was that bad. But had he had the 49ers situation with a Roger Craig, he never had a running game and he didn't have he had a good defense, they just couldn't finish up nothing. But imagine, I don't know if he could have done what Montana did with the Dwight Clark era, the Earl Cooper era when they first won that first Super Bowl against Cincinnati. That I don't know. And with Freddie Solomon, I don't know if he wins those two rings before Jerry Rice. I'll say this. Once they had Jerry Rice, and then you had that crew come in, and then of course Ronnie Lott and all them guys, he bound to won a couple. But I don't know if he could have done what Montana did early on. Montana is so underappreciated in that regard that he didn't even have a top tier player. Roger Craig was, but not considered a top elite player when he was winning his early rings as far as offense goes. That's what him and Brady have in common. So that's quite an interesting flash, if you must, on the screen, if you must. That speaks volumes in itself. What would that have been like? Now, we bring it up to, that's one thing about Montana. That would have been interesting. And you put him with Don Shula, and Shula was an offensive guru genius. Because I think Don Shula and Bill Walsh are two of the greatest 5 coaches ever. And their mindset and the way they could utilize offenses would have been a great trade-off. And you put Joe Montana with the Marx brothers and Tony Nathan, Andre Franklin, and then the defense. I think Miami wins a chip or two. I do. I think Montana would thrive. Remember, he got a Kansas City to the AC Championship game. They left Frisco. And I don't think Kansas City necessarily had a better offense than what Marino had in Miami. I'm just saying. But I think that you put him in a situation, I think he could have done something. So I think that could have been a real interesting situation. But Marino with Bill Walsh would have been incredible. It would have been it'd have been probably more explosive than Don Coryell with Dan Fouts and Winslow, Chandler, and Joyner. Chuck Muncie and James Brooks and all what they had in San Diego, Kellen Winslow Sr. If you think about it, that could have been very